w.com.au.
Senator James Paterson is an elected representative of the people. He's been banned by China. So's Andrew Hastie. So have I, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. What matters is two elected representatives of the people. In a statement, China says, as long as the people concerned repent and redress their mistakes, view China with objectivity and reason, respect China's system and mode of development chosen by the Chinese people, the door of dialogue and exchanges will remain open. Chosen by the Chinese people is a bit of a stretch. Senator James Paterson, good morning.
Good morning, Neil. I feel like I'm in good company with you.
Well, who is going?
No one's going anymore because China Matters, the organisation that organised the program, has understandably decided not to proceed, given that 2 out of the 3 MPs who are invited to attend are not able to do so.
Who was the third one?
Matt Keogh, a Labor MP from Western Australia.
Does he respect the Chinese system?
I haven't asked him. He hasn't been on the public record, though, like Andrew and I have about the Chinese Communist Party.
Isn't it inevitable that we're going to have to stand strongly on China pretty soon?
Yes, I think it is, and I think this incident is further demonstration of that. We have to demonstrate to the Chinese government that we are not willing to bend when instructed to do so, that we're not simply going to be silent about the way in which they've trespassed on our national interests and our sovereignty, or about the way in which they are abusing the human rights of their own citizens.
How do we do that? Obviously we want to maintain trading relations, which might be difficult. How do we take that stand?
Well, I think we need to just be forthright and assertive and confident about our beliefs and our values, and do it in a way that's grounded in evidence and be honest, and accept that there may from time to time be some consequences for that. We've got to value the economic relationship and the other positive aspects of our relationship, but that can never come at the expense of our values.
Well, you're part of the government. Is the government being sufficiently assertive at the moment?
I think we are much more assertive now than we were only 3 or 4 years ago. If you look at the legislation that we passed to ban foreign political donations, or the foreign influence transparency scheme, or our outspokenness about human rights, I think we've stepped up a lot in the last few years.
You talked about national interest. Do you believe China has been responsible for hacking into our computer systems, including the parliament?
It hasn't been confirmed, and I don't know for sure, Neil, but the language that's used by the government to describe it is that a sophisticated state actor has done so, and there's only a handful of those in the world.
Do you believe we've got Chinese spies on the streets of Australia?
We probably do, although they're probably not alone in that. I think espionage is sadly a common feature of statecraft from many countries.
Well, where is it contradicting the national interests, as you say?
Well, a couple of examples that I could give to concrete, Neil, is that the attempt to influence debate on Australian university campuses. We saw a protest organised at the University of Queensland, and the Chinese Consul General in Brisbane openly incited Chinese national students to go to that campus and to attempt to forcibly shut down the pro-Hong Kong perspective. Now, that is a transparent, open intervention in our domestic affairs that is totally inappropriate.
What's your reaction to what came from the New York Times overnight, the confirmation of the concentration camps for Uyghurs?
It's incredibly disturbing. If you take the Chinese Communist Party at their word, the absolute best case scenario is that there are 1 million Uyghurs and other minority faiths, Muslim predominantly, who are detained in re-education camps in Western China, and the language that they use to describe them is incredibly disturbing and dehumanising, talking about them as a virus that needs to be cured. It's
reminiscent of Nazi Germany, is it not?
I'm really reluctant to make those comparisons, not just because it's sensitive, Neil, in a geopolitical context, but because the Holocaust is a unique event in history and almost stands outside history and bears no comparison. But it's safe to say that these are about as disturbing as you could possibly get.
What about Hong Kong?
I'm really worried about Hong Kong. I think the Chinese Communist Party has undermined Hong Kong's autonomy and independence in contravention of the arrangements they agreed to in 1997. And I worry about that for Hong Kong because there's 100,000 Australian citizens there. It is an amazing place, a wonderful place, and it's being severely damaged by this.
Should Victoria be part of the Belt and Road Initiative, as Daniel Andrews signed up to?
Absolutely not. It is not the place of state governments to engage in negotiations with foreign governments to sign arrangements with them. It's beyond their expertise and capability. And for very good reason, the Australian government has urged other countries in our region to be cautious about embracing the Belt and Road Initiative because we've seen in places like Sri Lanka where ports have been constructed to substandard quality and left extraordinary debt on nations that they can't get out of.
I get the sense China's attitude has hardened over recent months, years. Do you think that is where it's going? Is that where it's headed under this president?
I think that's very clear, and another example similar to Andrew and I's is a German Greens MP who'd been outspoken about the Uyghurs, who was recently told, as part of a German congressional parliamentary delegation, that delegation wasn't welcome while she was a member of it. So they are being increasingly assertive, they are being increasingly forthright, and we have to match that with our own assertiveness and forthrightness.
Can we do that without losing trade?
I hope that we can, and it's a very difficult balancing task for the government to do. But at the end of the day, if we have to choose, then I think we always have to stand up for our sovereignty and our values.
Morality comes first?
Well, it's not just morality, Neil. That's important, but it's also our national security as well.
Thank you very well. So what do you do now?
We won't be going to China. I'll have to read a book instead, I guess, Neil.
No, but what do you? I mean, do you lobby the Prime Minister? You raise it in the party room. How do you handle it?
I'll continue to speak out, and I know Andrew Hastie feels the same. We'll continue to be publicly clear about the concerns that we have. And what I've been encouraged by in the last 48 hours is how widely that's shared within the Australian political system from across a range of parties. A number of people have contacted us privately, and some have gone on the public record to say they feel the same way we do, and they're going to be very loud about that. Thank
you very much. Government Senator James Paterson, banned from China, along with Government MHR Andrew Hastie, the former SAS soldier, major, I think he was. Okay, what do we do? 96900 693 13 13 30. Some people argue that China is entitled to do what it likes within its own borders. Well, we said that about many disastrous regimes, including Nazi Germany. I don't think we're an option. If we're to retain any shred of international credibility, I think we need to stand up for what we believe in. And I keep making this point. We banned South Africa for years because of apartheid. This is worse than apartheid, or as bad as, at least, what is going on there, and it's much more broad. We banned South Africa, yet we tolerate China. Why? Money.
Money.